Hello, Tammy here. Gosh, I bet we all know what day it is. So, I believe it's Thursday, January 7th. And, I've just had a good little cry on my mat, so that might still happen, but who knows if we always know why, but it's maybe not for the reasons you think. So yesterday was a bit of a roller coaster, and it had a sharp difference. It had me doing all the things I think I need to do during the day, and then me getting in the car to drive and turning on the news. And then it's interesting what happens. Make no mistake, it's a moment in time that is worthy of note and attention, but yet it's interesting the ride that we take, and that I immediately questioned everything I did that day, maybe with good reason, because when an important, enormous event is taking place, you stop and say, where was I trivial today? So I had posted an afternoon live kind of spontaneously, so that felt incredibly trivial. And I felt an urge to do something, to talk to people, but I was like, no, it's time to be quiet and listen. And, I did my best to take in what I could yesterday. And there are so many feelings, but one of them I go to immediately is self-recrimination. And so that means, whatever I did that day, it was worthless, meaningless, not the right thing, a frivolous thing, the wrong thing. And I've been through this because we've all been through a thing many, many times, especially this past year, where whatever I would have to do or say or focus on has to be the wrong thing. However, I do know that looking at ourselves is absolutely the right thing, and I know that that's the path that I'm on. So listening to so many thought leaders, reading so many things right now, I happen to be reading Glennon Doyle right now, and I happen to be reading her chapter on racism and systemic injustice, and she is very pointedly talking about whether or not we are willing to admit that the air that we breathe, the life that we live, we are taking in the toxins. We're taking in the toxins of racism, misogyny, social injustice, you name it, on and on and on and on. And I hang out with a group of people where we talk about that in our nutrition, and it's all connected. But what I'm talking about right now is the fact that if we aren't willing to admit it is within us and to turn it inside out and look at it, then we aren't really willing to do the work. And at the same time, I can feel really stopped up about that. Fear of action, fear of wrong action, which is also a big part of the problem. And she quotes Maya Angelou, and this of course won't be an exact quote, but it's, you do what you can now, and when you know better, you do better. And I would argue that that's what I'm aiming to do what I can now, and when I know better, I promise to do better. And so a lot of my tears right now are because I came home and kind of raged at my family last night. And, I can't really stomach that, because as a child I felt really raged at a lot. And so the idea that I try so hard to be this peaceful and calm person, and that then I would unleash that on the people that are the most important, that if I can walk my walk at all, I need to walk my walk. in my tiny microcosm of life. So I don't know if it's the news of the day. I don't know if it's stress and anxiety I put on myself, but I'm not proud of my actions when I transitioned from the car to the family. So that being said, when I ask myself, what can I do right now? It's do my practices. It's get still and get quiet and listen. And when I know better, I'll do better. So I have some time on the clock right now, and let's just meditate, all right? You can take a few breaths to come into yourself. I set the timer for about 11 minutes, so if that's relevant to you, we probably have maybe a 7-minute meditation left. And as always, if this helps you access some stillness and peace for yourself, please feel free to shut this off and be with yourself. take that away from you. So please be with yourself for longer. It's the greatest gift to yourself and to others. If you'd like to come out of that stillness with me right now, I like to rub my palms together. Feel that there is energy that we all come from and go back to, that we can create and manipulate and feel. We have the power to change our energy and to change the energy we share with the world. And feel that energy and also create a gentle transition, because we see so much with our eyes. We think and feel so much with our minds. When we take this stillness, we're allowing ourselves to feel through our other senses, our other modalities of awareness. And as we come back, it's worthy of note as we transition. Gently open your eyes into your palms. Be in that space for a moment and gently peel that away to come back into this space. And I will always acknowledge that this is a strange space, and yet I also find that it is also absolutely a gift in this time that we are living in, and like all things, can be used for benefit and healing, or for despair and divisiveness and destruction. And I do believe that everything comes from personal responsibility first, and that you deserve love and peace and joy and healing. So we create space for our own healing, and that creates space for healing for others. And we do what we can from where we are at right now. And when we know better, we can do better. Namaste.